Hey guys, what's up? Wattsy here today, and before we start, there was some sort of issue when I recorded this. For some reason, the microphone wasn't recording the entire time, so I'm having to audio dub this as we go. So if it seems a bit out of sync with what's going on, that's just because I'm trying to sort of remember what I did next and keep up with it. So anyway, here we go. So watching on from last time, we're making great money now, making our way up to 750k, 750,000. We've got a burgeoning workforce. We've got our own product in development, as you can see there. And yeah, this episode we're just going to look at maybe hiring some more developers, probably the lead developers as well. We're going to need another one of those, maybe two, and probably look to get a manager for them as well, so I don't have to micromanage them. But we'll see how we go. And maybe a sales executive as well, because this one's looking a bit moody, as you can see there. Although we do have a sales executive there ready to move in actually, so we don't need to hire one of those just yet until the other one gets a bit stressy. So contracts wise, we just got a low urgency one in the pipeline, and yeah, we're going to work on that. Here we go. So respond to this contract. It's a medium urgency. See if we can't get some money for it. Come in sort of at the upper average expensive, sort of the 40k mark. Yeah, 38. And we got undercut just by a grand. Oh no, Uber code came in and undercut everyone. Cool, let's make some of these. Just trying to, this episode really was trying to get the lead developers designing stuff with the at a pace that the developers can keep up making the components. So that was a bit of a challenge. Another bidder. It's a low urgency, which we tend to always get undercut on somehow. I think that happens again here, and it does with superstar devs. Yeah, devs do raise their head in this episode again, coming in at ridiculously low prices, as you'll see. Yeah, I guess running smoothly though. We're doing really well. Yeah, this is really quite odd trying to commentate on my own gameplay, watching it back. It's quite odd. Bear with me. Cool. So just got some low urgency contracts. I was really looking forward to getting a manager for these lead developers, because micromanaging them all were starting to become a bit tedious. So yeah, try and not get undercut on this one. It's a low urgency, so we're going quite low. Just showing there that the designers are doing a grand job. We've got surplus requirements, surplus product of what they're creating, like 200 of those, whatever those green things are there. And yeah, we just got undercut on that one by a few $100. So not having great luck with the bidding so far. Get the lead developers making some more things, and another bidder. This one's a high urgency, so try and make some money out of it. As you can see, it's quite good money. It's just at the top end of the average, 48k, and then typically on that one we got it, but we were about sort of 10 to 12k short of what we could have had, but it's fine. We were happy to get that because we weren't doing particularly well with the bids. So yeah, just the back-end module, back-end component even to come on that one, and we can send that off. Let's get them making some more of those so that we've got enough in stock later. But that's what I mean, that the developers having a hard time keeping up with them, which is why we're going to look to get some more. Jump to the start of a new day. We'll have a look at the candidates we had for the developer position. Speak of the devils, we've got 221% there at 10 grand. Catherine Estrada, 129 at 6 grand. See, I was looking for someone over 200% who was sort of under 10 grand. And I didn't really know why I was being so stingy, because we're making great money and we have so much surplus that we could definitely just hire pretty much whoever we want. But we're just looking, trying to find a good deal, trying to find someone who's over 200% ideally. And if we could get them under 10k, that'd be a bit of a coup. I can't remember who we went for in the end. Catherine Estrada is ringing a bell, so I think I might have gone with her. Maybe, yeah, we went with her. Yeah. And then I think we might have just waited because it's a 3-day recruitment phase. I think we waited to see who else we could get and left these guys chilling there. Yeah. So yeah, just looking to expand the workforce a bit, get some more developers in, so that we can really start mass producing what we need. Which will become even more important a bit later on when we start looking at our WhatsApp live product. We've got somebody who's called in sick, of course they have. So that's going to reduce our capacity even more. Just looking at rejigging who's doing what, so that we don't fall short on the back end components, because they've come into demand quite a bit, with all those back end modules being demanded in the contracts. So at the moment we've got a developer on holiday and a developer off sick, so we're essentially 2 down. But we're making a good fist of it nonetheless. Just trying to keep the lead developers occupied. That sales executive is going to quit soon, but we've got one in the wings ready to replace, so that's okay. So back-end modules are just getting gobbled up in this episode. Just contract after contract wanting them, and it seems like I'm just constantly producing them and they always seem to be at 0. So low urgency, we're sort of determined not to get undercut on this one. I think I was anyway. We're coming quite low on the cheap bit there, 26 grand. We got undercut on that one as well. So a higher urgency contract is just an accept or a decline. Just 6 back-end components is what we need for that one, so we took that. Yeah, there's no problem making the interface modules because the designers are just smashing out the components for those. Absolutely no shortage of those whatsoever. So we've got 2 moody sales executives, so now I probably will have to look at hiring another one of those. At the moment we still got the designers, so we'll have a look at the one candidate we have there. Here's a good percentage at 12 grand. I think I'll let it run its course for a bit longer. At this point I remember that I already hired a couple, so I put their desk or her desk in and put her to work on some database components. I was just checking to make sure we had sort of, also we don't need 2 people doing the UI components really, so I put that guy on database components as well. At this point I was just sort of thinking I hadn't really structured how the developers were doing it. I was randomly selecting people to do random tasks, and I realised I had quite a few people doing sort of the same jobs, where it could be a bit more diversified to make it a bit more efficient for us. So that's what this bit's about just now. Just try to group them up. So I've got the 2 back-end components sitting together, 1 person doing the UI component, the next 2 I put on the task of doing the network components, and then the next 2 doing the database components. There and there, and then no prizes for guessing. The last 2 would be on the encryption components. There they go. So that's sort of just structured that corner of the office a bit more. Made it a bit easier to manage for me to see visually who's doing what, and hopefully, yeah, like I said, just keep it a bit more efficient. So the sales executive eventually did quit, so we put our guy in who has been waiting in the wings to take over. He comes straight in. We'll get him managed in a sec. Oh, I just noted at that point that I realised you could actually tell them to search for a bidding contract or a fixed price contract. So they would actually specifically come up with that each time, but I don't think it really makes too much of a difference for us. It's quite good to have a fixed price. I do like the bidding ones, but it's quite good to have a fixed price one come in every now and then, because the bidding ones I tend to just get undercut all the time. So it's good to have a fixed price one come along that you can just accept or decline without fear of losing it. So yeah, we're in good shape. We're in good shape. We've got another developer. The designers are in good mood and they're all just absolutely smashing out those components. So you don't need to look at any of those for a while. So on the recruitment front, we're looking okay at the moment. Everyone's in a fairly happy mood. Yeah, it's doing alright. We've got a medium emergency contract coming here. Going to bid for it. We've got all the components already, so sort of hoping to get this one. We just take the contract and then send it off straight away for some easy bucks. So sending it off at 43k, and yeah, we could have got another 7 grand out of that, but it's hard to judge. It was hard to judge in this episode for some reason. Some episodes I sort of find, some days I sort of find that we're really on point with those, and some days just getting undercut and then underselling, and it's hard to take. High agency ones come through. Not bad money on this. We're going to try and get something out of it. So just going over 40k, and yeah, again we could have got a bit more, but that was close enough. And 42k, can't complain. Just I was mentioning their code house coming in at 80k with pretty high offer there. Yeah, so I think the I think the lead developers for the next on our shopping list. We might get another developer first. I can't actually remember which way around it was in the end, but certainly they're on the shopping list for this episode, because the modules are just increasingly coming into demand with the contract, and we want to be looking into the development of our new product as well. So we're going to need that capacity. Just mentioning again, the designers are doing a great job. The developers are doing okay. They're just struggling to keep up with all the back-end components required for the back-end modules. You can see there the encryption components are getting a bit low as well. I hadn't really noticed it this time, but the two that I had doing the encryption components are probably the two slowest developers that I had. So when I was sort of sorting them out, I should have thought about that, but we'll come over to that in a bit later. So just checking what contracts we've got to do then. We've got a low urgency one and a high urgency one, but the low urgency one we've actually got less time on at this point, so we're going to try and get that one sent off, and then we can get the high urgency one done too. They both just need some back-end components, which as I say, have been just getting soaked up by the the lead developers making the back-end modules. So there we go. Just waiting for that to come through, and then pretty much straight away because I know what to do. So medium urgency, it's good money this. Top end of the average scale, and it's about 50 grand. So I was sucked into asking for 50 grand, and unfortunately got just suckered by about a K. So we lost out on that one. But still doing great. We've got like $127,000 in the bank. We are smashing it at the moment. So just looking at our developer candidates that have come through, and deciding that we can probably wait and see who else comes up. So high urgency is about 50k, which makes up for the one we just missed out on. Needs another 5 back-end modules, but that's alright, happy to take that. And then there's a medium urgency one coming in straight after, which we've got all the components for. It's a bidder. We didn't mind if we lost out on this one, but just see if we can get some money out of it. But Ubercode have come in and massively offered a massive amount less than us, so blown out the water there. Get these guys working on the back end modules, because that high urgency one had quite a few of those on the order. We've got a low urgency one. Trying at 24. We've been undercut again. Devs, so they come. I told you they were going to appear. So they came in at about 17 grand and came in a lot lower than everyone else, as they always do. And it's the end of the day, so we're going to just jump to the start, put it on pause, have a look at the candidates, I think. Oh, Hetty Vaughan's called in sick as well. So we've had 2 call in sick in this episode so far. I was changing up the priorities of what the developers are doing because just wanted to make sure we weren't going to lose capacity on those back-end components and stuff, and network components. So the new contract was a high urgency, so it was a good decision to wait overnight. We're going to put a bid in, not too much money out of this one really. We wanted to get it though, and I think it was because I already had, we just lost out on it. I put it up too expensive because we already had a high urgency that needed a load of back-end modules, and that one also needed a few. So we put the price up really high, and if we got it that would have been great, and if we didn't get it we weren't too bothered. We almost got it, we're only a few grand out. So candidates overnight for the developer job, we've got 123 at 8, and then we decided to go with the 200% one. And cancelled the recruiting there, and then we went straight into looking for a sales executive to replace that one who's not too happy down there. So we went with a beginner for now, and just because I wanted to spend more time looking for the lead developers really, so just a day worth of looking for beginner sales executives. The new developer sits down, and this is me trying to figure out what I want her to do. I think this might, no, I put her doing the back-end modules, back-end components, sorry, and I was trying to figure out who was doing what, I think, at this point, just to make sure I wasn't missing something glaringly obvious. So at the moment we've got 3 doing back-end components, which probably isn't far off the mark considering how much these are getting used. There you go, look, like we're short on back-end components at this point. So we couldn't make the module, so yeah. As you can probably see there, I hadn't yet realised that the other developer hadn't been put under management yet, so she's sitting there idling. So a low urgency contracts come through. I think I declined it because it was quite a lot of work. It was because there was a lot of work to do for it, and it was only a low urgency. There was quite a lot of money to make out of it, I think, but oh well. Cool, so things are ticking along nicely. We're doing alright. We still could do the manager for the lead developers, but it's not too much of a... There was me trying to come in low, devs once again. I actually Ubercode that time. I was quite a bit above the competition on that one. I think I said at this point I couldn't bring myself to put my offer below 20 grand because I was used to raking in the big bucks. I've got to swallow our pride a bit, otherwise we're going to keep getting undercut. So, high urgency. We've got all the parts for this one, so it'd be quite useful if we could get it because it'd be some easy money. So we're going to come in at 35 and probably get massively undersold, yep, so there we go, we could have got a load more money for that. We could have got 20k more out of that, but it is what it is. We weren't having great luck with them, so I've realised that she's not managed now, so stick her under there. Pauline's now being managed, to get her back doing the back-end components. And yes, so this is our 2 contracts. We'll get rid of the one that needs less time, so we need another 4 back-end modules to come out. And then we've got another high urgency one to come through. That needs 4 back-end modules again. We'll accept it. Yeah, it's just back-end module galore at the moment. That's the end of the day. Just get them ready to make some back-end modules when they come back in. Oh, that guy's still going. He's playing on until 5, I think. He's managed to finish it as well. Check see how many more we need. Well, that one's ready to go actually, so it's got 42 hours on it. And this one's got 32, so we'll get rid of that one first. I think I was just considering the fact that one's worth more money, but then I was like, well, we don't need the money, so we're better off just getting rid of the more time critical one, which we do. And we just need yet more back-end modules, of course. Get those ready for the morning, and that's pretty much the end of the day. Just play it on until everyone goes home, which is there. Jump to the start of the day, press pause, check out the candidates. So these are all beginners for the sales exec position, and we're going to go with 129% at 5 grand. That's a very good deal anyway. So he goes in I think I have a thing. I got another one, Mary Peaks or whatever that was there. I have another one just to act as a replacement if needs be, or if we find ourselves at the point where we have the capacity to put in a third sales executive. She's there ready to go, so we have that third one in our pocket if we want to up our output even more. But for now, put in Rodney Klein. He's going in. He was a beginner, but I'm going to upgrade him to an intermediate straight away, and then we'll get him managed. And then that's that job sorted. We've got loads of money, making over $1 million a month now, almost 40k a day. So yeah, we're raking in the cash. We are making some readies. Get me. So now it's time to get on the hunt for the lead developers. I kept saying I was going to do it, and it was time to actually get on and do it. So we're going to look for some intermediate lead developers over a 3-day period. And we're definitely going to get one, maybe two, depending on who's on offer, really. So I couldn't figure out why this guy was idling, because he's managed and he's an auto repeat, so I'm not sure what that was about. Curious, but there we go. Check the contract. It's medium urgency. It's good money for it as well, so we're happy to go in the average for 48k, and we've just about done that one. So it's probably the first time in this episode we've just about got it right. And yeah, it's just back-end module after back-end module. They just keep getting asked for, really in high demand. So at this point now, I realised the woman had come back from being sick, so I was just re-specifying people. Quite a lot more management in this one than we have had in recent episodes, just based on the fact that those lead developers aren't managed. So I had to go back to a bit more micromanagement. But I have to say, I think I did a lot better than the last time when we were just sending off contracts late, left, right and centre. That wasn't particularly good. So we've got medium urgency come in. It's a bidder. It just needs 2 back-end modules, surprise, surprise. Another one that's good money though. Top end of the average scale is about 50k. So we've done that. Again, we could have got more money. Kicking myself again, but it's alright. We're not in need of the money anyway. It's just avarice now. So yeah, things are ticking along really well at this point. I'm really happy with how we're going. There we go, that can be delivered. Then once we've got some decent looking candidates for the tech lead developer jobs, then we can start looking at doing our own product a bit more detailed. Cool, so that's a pretty straightforward contract. It's only 18 grand, but I'll take it. So we've already got 7 candidates, which I was pretty happy with, because it was an intermediate recruiting session, and they're all pretty good quality as well. So she was 231% at 10 grand. Just trying to figure out the best deal out of the bunch. Gonna leave it going for now. I was just noticing that designer was in a bad mood, so I sent him on vacation. Then I thought, oh damn, that was a beginner. I could have just let him burn out and then get an intermediate, but not to worry, too late now. We sent him away. He was making the wireframe components. We've got 125, so we shouldn't get short of them. So yeah, I got distracted there, and then I probably forgot that I was looking at those tech developers, lead developers, and I remembered. Back to the task at hand. So we've got Fanny Cobb, who's 231%, just over 10 grand. That seemed like a good deal. And then we thought, yeah, do you know what? There's some pretty good candidates here, so we will look to get a second one like we promised. So just looking at the percents on the wage, and Lena was the best, so we hired her, and they got dropped, and then we went straight into looking for a manager. to manage them, and also some to replace the ones that are getting a bit moody. So there we go. I'm gonna move that desk in there. There we go, get another desk and stick that on the end like that. And then stick them in. So I was just looking at there, that was looking at the bits that we need for the app. Just confirming it's those two there. But we won't do that just yet. We're going to focus on just creating the product, or the components, modules, whatever, that are required for the contracts. So we're going to keep smashing those out for now. Let's keep focus on the task at hand. So now I have 5 tech developers. Why do I keep calling them tech developers? Lead developers. Sorry. 5 lead developers that I need to micromanage now. So yeah, as you see, it gets a bit frantic with clicking on those constantly, just getting them, trying to keep them continuously pushing out these modules. So the medium urgency one can go. It's got 62 hours on it. Just check what the other one was. So the other one's a medium urgency, so it's got 46. So we'll get rid of that one first. Again, I was just looking at the money difference, but it didn't make a difference really. Get a bit low on the encryption components again, and I figured that's because I've got the two. I haven't figured it out yet. I do figure it out eventually. I figure out that the two developers working on those encryption components are the two slowest ones I have in the workforce. So that's why they're getting a bit low on the encryption components. I do figure it out eventually, because I remember changing it. For now, it's just micromanaging those lead developers and accepting contracts. So this is a medium urgency one that we have all the bits for already. 31 grand, just been undercut. I'll undercut again. So there you go. What can you do? We can deliver that one though. That was 50 grand in the bank, and that pushes us over the million mark. So we've got we are millionaires. There we go. Absolutely flying. Absolutely flying now. 7 figures in the bank. And yeah, once we get this manager for the tech developers, then that will... At this point I randomly decided that this place on the wall needed a water cooler. So I got one. There we go. Jumping to the start of the day, we're going to check our candidates for managers. Nothing really doing there. I kind of wanted just a manager for these tech developers, and Hetty seemed alright, 192% under 10 grand. Happy to take her for that. I just really wanted a manager for those those lead developers, because yeah, it was the micromanaging was not great. So just reconfiguring where the desks are. Because there wasn't enough room to put the manager in, so we get those done. Picking that up. No. There we go. That's it. And then that one. There. And then that one. Oh. Yeah. No. Yep. There we go. And then, yeah, the manager goes in there. Move her up to the head of the little workstation. And we'll get her managing all of them. So for now, we're going to get 3 of them working on the interface modules and 2 of them working on the back-end modules. So 2 on the cogs and 3 on that light green one on the left-hand side. Just made sense to have 3 of them making the interface modules, because the designers are the ones that create the components for the interface modules, and they were just absolutely bashing them out. So it made sense to have more doing those than the other ones, because the developers are having a bit more hard time keeping up. So a low urgency one, need an encryption component. As I said, they're getting a bit low. We must have had them contracts using them up without me realising. Coming at 16k. And amazingly enough, even that, devs managed to undercut us. So lost out on that one as well. So encryption components is all we need, just need 2 of those. And another contract which can be sent off straight away. And is so we have another low urgency one, a bit of work to go into it, but we'll accept it nonetheless. So this is where I've realised now that those developers are probably the 2 slower ones that I have doing the encryption components, so you're going to change them around. Oh, in fact, I think I was actually noting their mood is lower, and I was contemplating upgrading them to intermediates and sending them on vacation, but I can't really do that with 2, so because they're both beginners, I'm just going to let them burn out, and then we'll hire replacements for them, intermediate replacements for them, when the time comes. So I think now I'm realising the difference. Sorry, the fact that they're the slower ones. I think that's what I'm realising. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's it. So get her doing the UI components because they don't take long at all. I don't want 2 people doing UI components. I don't really want to do back-end components because if she's being slow, we need those at the moment for the modules that are coming out. So I do put the 2 on UI components. Nonetheless, this guy, I keep him on the database component. I just wanted to make sure that everyone was doing everything, nothing was getting left out. So we put this guy on the encryptions because he was doing UIs. So we definitely don't need 3 people on UI components. And then it's just a quick check: is everyone doing something different, or just making sure we've got it nice and efficient, nice and spread out. So this guy's doing backend components. I put him on the encryption component as well. So there we go, we've got 2 on backend, 2 on encryption, 2 on networks, 2 on database, 2 on UI. So it's, yeah, 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. And then quick head count. Oh, hang on, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Quick head count, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. There we go, boom. So happy with that. Don't know why this guy's idling, he should be managed. Don't know why he dropped out of his little work pattern. But we give that back to him. For some reason his auto repeats turned off. I don't know why. He's managed the rest of them are doing what they need to be doing. For some reason his auto repeats off, so we flick that back on. Not sure how that happened, but not to worry. Yeah, so now we've got the 2 extra lead developers, we are sort of pumping out these modules now at a healthy rate, but as you can see there, that says missing requirements because they're on auto repeat. They're making those backend modules quite quickly, and they're making them quicker than the developers can produce the backend components and the wireless components. So what I decided to do was, because it just wasn't really working out, looking at those, I'm just making sure we got the wireless components, wireframe components, sorry, making sure that they were alright, because we only had 1 person making them because I sent the other one on holiday. But we got 96, so it's not like we're in short supply. So just gonna take them off auto repeat because the developers just can't keep up with the back end module demand. It's just a bit too much for them at the moment. So we're gonna give the developers a bit of time to build up ahead of Steam. We get a bit of stuff in the bank, and then we'll just have to produce the backend modules as and when they're required. Right, so a couple of contracts, they're both low urgency and they've got both over 100 hours on them, so there's no immediate rush. So jump to the start of the day, hit pause, check our candidates, and so we got, yeah, she's a good deal. Other than that, Victoria Fraser seems like a good shout. So we've got a couple of managers in the pipeline there, just to take over when the others quit. Just good to have them up our sleeve, I guess. I mean, this one and this one are both on mediocre face, so I've got a few more days in them yet. Just checking to see if she was intermediate or not. She's sitting at a beginner desk, so for the most part I've tried to keep the intermediate people at intermediate desks, but because in the last episode I couldn't, for some reason, I couldn't find a way to pick up a desk without someone sitting on it. I've had to put some intermediate people on the beginner desk. So just making it a bit more, made more sense to give her the developers as people she's managing rather than one of the designer managers. Not that it makes any difference to how the game plays, just I guess I had a bit of OCD there. Right, low urgency can be sent off. And the other one just needs a few more bits. Another contract, it's another low urgency. Just needs 2 network components and some back-end components, sorry. So try and get those for 25 grand. Yeah, that was actually worked out right for us. So now, do you know what, I thought, seeing as they're just sitting there doing nothing, well, I don't want to rag those back-end modules, let's get them making the stuff that is needed for the app. So we got them doing those. So we're picking up a head of steam on our own product now. So trying to figure out what's going on here. So we got the components that we needed. So it just said implement. So we would implement. It didn't do anything at this point. And then got another more of what we needed, which was the same again. 2 front end modules, and just, yeah, I was noting that we were using the wireframe components. They were going down a bit quicker than the rest because there's only one person making them, but we still have got 79. So back-end module I saw just to keep up the numbers of them and get this guy making a back-end module 2. Just since we started doing the app, I've now got to sort of juggle. So there we go. All features successfully implemented. Click the button below to release this version. So it seemed like a good thing to do. So we released it, and so now our product is live. WhatsApp Live has gone live. Our live streaming service has gone up. The hosting, I'm thinking, is something that the DevOps do. I remember seeing them come up as a potential employee when we tiered up earlier. And then marketing, obviously the marketers, that's going to be their neck of the woods. So we'll come on to all this stuff in future episodes as we sort of venture forth into that. For now, sort of just leave it chilling. We've got it released. It's open to the public. Seems like with our current, so you can release new versions there as well. So with our current workforce, we can probably do some upgrades at some point, but we'll see how we go. So now it's juggling, sort of taking on the contracts and what we're doing for WhatsApp Live. So we have to be careful to make sure that we don't overuse too many of the components, because that does happen at one point in this. Anyway, back to the components. Both low urgency, both can be sent off. The first one is gone, and a new contract, another low urgency. All the bits are there, and yeah, we'll just send it. So we're done recruiting for a manager now. We don't need any more of those. And the next thing we're going to need is a developer, really. This one's a beginner, so happy to let that one burn out. and those other two at the end are also beginners. We're going to let them burn out too. So we're going to get on the hunt for some developers. 3 days, intermediate level. We can search for experts now, but we won't for just yet. We'll keep it intermediate. Yeah, so we're going to get 3 replacement developers and then at least 1 new one. And then yeah. New contract, high urgency. It's pretty good money, 40k. So we're having good fun now. We're having great fun. We got you can see our WhatsApp Live, our app, our product streaming service is gradually starting to make some money. 71 cents a day, a pittance at the moment, but it's going to grow into a blossoming streaming service, a forthright streaming service. It's going to be the dominant force. WhatsApp Live is coming, guys. So I decided to go back, seeing as they were just sitting there not doing anything, start making some of those, and then we could work on the updates for the app. In the meantime, we'll have a look at some of our developer recruits. So this was an intermediate recruiting session as well. We got quite a few in the first bit. That guy seemed like a very good deal, so we took him. And this one's 227% at 10 grand, 203% at 8 grand. So we'll take that one as well. And Eric Ryan there. I mean, we've got loads of money, so why not? Let's have a look, see if there's anyone else there, but he seems like the best one, so we'll hire him. So that's, I think that was 3 there anyway. We're going to leave the recruiting going for now, just so we have some ready to go. So we've got 3 replacements, but we want to have 1 extra one, so we're gonna leave the recruitment going to facilitate that. So as you can see there, the money's going up. It's starting to make more money. We've got 94 users on it, making almost $5 a day, and it's climbing all the time. So I was keen to crack on with some of these updates and see if we can't get that booming early on. Back to the contracts though, we need a back-end component, which is on its way. There it is. Deliver that, just under 40 grand. And then there we go. I realised at this point that that's using back-end components, which is obviously the same as what the back-end module uses. So we're going to have to be careful with that, just to make sure we've got the capacity. Once we've got more developers, it'll be fine. But for now, yeah, get her making some of those, and just go to the upgrades. So we just need 2 more of those front-end modules, and then we could upgrade. Comes. There we go, so we'll upgrade the mobile. That gives us some more hype. We're up to 17% of hype on our product. We'll respond to this contract. In the meantime, it's a medium urgency. We've got all the stuff, we'll deliver that, and at that point, gonna call it a day there, guys. Thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, subscribe. Sorry about this video being a bit weird with the audio. Thanks for watching.